You guys hear us?
Yes, we can.
Oh, and we can hear you. We just need a little bit more. Say something again.
Hello.
Do it again.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, sorry,
Now
I'm
it's
going the wrong way. How about now?
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Great.
Okay. Well done. Just takes 20 meetings to figure it out. All right. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Today is October 2nd. This is the Lake County Continuum of Care General Meeting, and we're going to start off with a roll call. Melissa,
Supervisor Sabatier,
I am here in person.
Doreen Gilmore,
Here in person.
Dustin Lawson, Heather is absent. Oh, wait a second. I think this is something that we need to figure out. Are we doing for second voting members? Are we allowing them to vote for chairs when they're absent?
I'm looking at Doreen, the bylaws. She knows all.
We were gonna change the bylaws so that it included that. I
So-
don't think it's been changed.
So at this moment, the answer is no.
Okay,
But we can still get their roll call just to make sure that they're here.
okay. All right, Heather Frawley will be absent. James Murdoch,
Present in person.
Shannon Kimball off.
Right here, present.
Wow.
I planned it that way.
You're just waiting for it to be called, huh?
Thank
Anna Santana. Rachel Parsons said that she's on her way. She's running late.
She's outside.
Okay, good.
skipped
Melissa
over-
Kopp, I'm here on Zoom. Scott Abbott,
You in person?
And you skipped over Brad Rasmussen.
Brad Rasmussen. Sorry, Brad.
Here.
All right. Christina Dalto,
Here in person.
Barbara Christwitz, Carl Porter,
Here. Person.
Thank you. George McKinzick, Janet Taylor,
Here in person.
Marie Petrel, man,
Petterly,
Petterly. Thank you.
Maria,
Maria Petterly, Tiffany Hall,
She's coming. She's just running a couple minutes late.
Dale Stovey, Teresa Schoen,
I am here.
Carissa Smith,
President Hope Center.
Elise Jones, Antoinette Kamalani.
Annette Camaloni.
Thank you. Annette Kamaloni.
Camaloni. She's not here.
Thank you. Thank you. Layla Romero,
Present on Teams.
Ben Anderson,
Present in person.
Kate Mather. I saw her come in.
Present on Teams.
Brianna Ramirez,
Present on Teams.
Ava Laura. Wendy Monfrance.
President person.
Ronnie Duncan.
Present virtually.
Kimberly Guerrera. Tiffany Montel. Summer Walker.
Just so you're aware, Anna Santana has made it an appearance.
Thank you. Angelique Cole.
Walmart, 2 beds.
Present by Teams.
Robin Rodriguez. Anna Pack.
Present on Teams.
Mary Wilson.
Present on Teams.
Deanna Gutierrez.
Present on Teams.
And then Sienna Cho.
Present on Teams.
Thank you. Let's roll.
Real quick, I want to go over just to make sure, did you miss Julia Carrera?
I did.
I don't know if she's here. I just was looking at the list. And then, so it doesn't look like she's here. And then Willow Nunez.
I missed her too. Thank you.
Willow, do you want to say present? Willow's present at Hope Center.
Thank you.
Perfect. Did we miss anybody else who is already a member?
I believe Raven is on the call, and I believe she's interim for Justin.
She's going to get voted in on during this agenda.
That's coming up,
Thank you.
but thank you for that.
Jermaine is also here on
Oh,
Teams.
that's right. We did approve Jermaine.
Thank you, Jermaine.
Bruno, this is Courtney Hill, and I also don't think that I'm part of the COC either. I was sent the
As in-
invite, but I don't think I've ever been put in.
Okay, and I apologize, Courtney. Were you approved as a member?
I'm not sure how I would get approved.
Okay, let's take that up after this meeting and make sure that if you're on the list, we get you on the list. If you're not on the list, let's get you an application so that we can get you approved.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. All right, seeing nothing more, let's go ahead and keep going. Any additions or changes to the agenda? I do not have any. Melissa, Scott? Approval of September 4th, 2025 meeting minutes. I do have one slight change. You have Maria Petterly and Timothy Cantrell as both being here and absent. I think that I don't think Timothy was able to make it last time. I don't remember. That's too far ago. That was a whole month ago. But I don't know which one it
Bruno,
was.
Timothy Cantrell has left the Lake County area. He has moved to Humboldt County.
Yeah, but that was
And Maria's at an
before,
appointment. She's usually here.
No, but I'm talking about for the meeting minutes from September 4th.
He was there.
So-
Yeah,
Do
he
we know
was here. We
Maria?
all said bye to him.
And Maria was there as well?
Yes.
Okay, so if we could just fix that so that they're not marked as absent and also in person. That's the only change that I'm offering. Is there any other changes to the meeting minutes? Speak now. And if not, looking for a motion to approve. Anna quietly moved to approve.
I'll second it.
And a second by Doreen. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Conflict of interest statement, if we're going to be talking about any contract, which I don't believe we have today on our agenda, But if we do talk about a contract and it's your agency, just please let us know and recuse yourself until that item is over so that we can talk about you while you're outside. Next, public comment. Any public comments or announcements not on the agenda? Wendy?
Doesn't everyone want to hear about the federal shutdown? We're good for October. We'll just leave it at that. How about that?
For a few weeks. I
We're
believe
good
till
for
October
October.
25th.
We're good for October, yeah. No, in terms of Section 8 funding, and then November is partially guaranteed after November. Section 8 gets a little, where's the money? So hopefully it'll resolve.
I just got two for patients with Medicare. They can no longer do telehealth visits with the exception of behavioral health visits. Starting October 1st, federally qualified health centers and rural health centers have an extension until January 1st. And in order to continue for those, for behavioral health, they need to have an in-person visit within 6 months prior and then annually after that. So it's going to be harder for some of our patients with transportation issues or mobility challenges to access specialty medical care or even primary care.
Somebody was thinking about the rural areas when they put that in.
Clearly, yeah. Yeah, it probably works in Los Angeles.
There is a way to get rides through partnership.
Mhm.
It's just cumbersome.
Yeah, and this is so far partnership, they can continue to have that benefit. It's for folks with Medicare.
Okay.
It applies to.
And if you're not aware of Lake Links, please make sure to contact Lake Links. They have volunteer drivers. They have a pay your pal driver program. And they get people within the county and outside of the county to their appointments. So that's a good program to link up with if patients are struggling, just to make sure they continue to have access to your services.
And at MCHC, we also have a couple of vans that pick people up and bring them door to door. So
Awesome.
Is that work through partnership? Is that, are they independent?
I've tried linking them with partnership and they have not been able to connect that way. Maybe things have changed, but I know they're working with ITN America, which is a national group that tries to provide some funding and resources for transportation purposes through the volunteer. Wendy?
We have our resilient reentry event next Friday at Woodland College from 10 to 4. Hope to see you all there. There's hot dogs for lunch, so good time.
Now I'm going.
You already promised.
I just want to introduce myself. My name is A.S. Murray. I work for Quadruple Threats. I'll pass it around. We do supervised visitation. We're new to the county. Our office is in Nice. And we moved here June 1st. I'll let my colleague introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Gavina. I am the project coordinator for the program. And we came from Mendocino County. And so we're new here and we hope to spread the word about our agency. And our service is free.
Should have started with that. Welcome. Thank you. I've seen you at many different places, even multiple times today. So you're definitely doing your rounds to let people know who you are. So thank you. Was that you, Anna, with the hand that I saw?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you guys that November is Homeless and Runaway Youth Prevention Awareness Month. It is a green ribbon. So if anybody sees posts and stuff, please share it. And refer homeless and runaway youth to us so that we can help them.
Thank you. I don't see any hands and nothing further in this room. So let's move on to our action items. 4.1. Last month, we nominated Willow Nunez to being the Lived Experience Youth Chair. Today is the official day to fulfill that nomination and vote on it. Willow, did you want to speak on that, or do you want just to move forward and take action?
I was a youth, I was a homeless youth, and I think I would have a lot of good insights on how a lot of youth individuals think during those times. I think that's it.
You're doing great. Did you all hear Willow?
Yes. Yes.
Be great if we could.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think
hello.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Willow. I was a homeless youth, and I think I have a lot of insights of like how a lot of the young minds think, like during these times, especially. Yeah, I think that's it.
Good job.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Willow, for offering to being the chair for our youth chair. And looking forward to better knowing you and hearing your experience and what you think we should be doing. So thank you so much. Looking for a nomination, more specifically a vote of approval from Hope Center. That's where it should come from.
Ready? Sure. Go ahead.
What do I say?
My name, I nominate Willow for the
My name is Tiffany. I nominate Willow for the position
youth chair.
of youth chair.
Perfect. Looking for a second.
I second.
Second.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Willow. Next, we have Raven, and I do not want to butcher it, but Wilczewski from Redwood Community Services, Harbor on Main. It seems that Justin, I was not aware until I read the agenda, that Justin has left the position or left RCS, not sure which one it is, but that Raven would be replacing Justin. Looks like Raven is here. Again, apologies if your last name is not pronounced in such a way. But if you want to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. So my name's Raven Wilczewski. You were close. It's Wilczewski. I'm the interim supervisor for the Harbor on Main Youth Resource Center. Justin did unfortunately leave the company, so I stepped into the role as interim supervisor until we hire a new full-time supervisor for both the NEST program and the Harbor. I've worked at the Harbor for the past 5 years, and I'm very passionate about what I do and giving back to the community in every way that I can. So yeah, that's me.
Well, thank you very much, Raven, and enjoyed working with Justin, and I'm sure we will do the same with you. Looking for a motion to approve Raven.
So moved.
Ben with a motion
Second.
and a second from Carl. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion carries. All those other ayes were for the actual yes, not the oppose. There's a little bit of a delay from Zoom or Teams. All right, we're going to move on to presentations. Melissa, you're up. System performance measures.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me the time to discuss the system performance measures. Let me get this set up real quick. Thank you for your patience. Okay. The system performance measures is something that we had discussed previously about reviewing here at the COC. And the reason we wanted to bring this to the COC was to help everyone with a better understanding of why these system performance measures and the COC data is so important. If I could get my notes up, that would be amazing. But I can still wing it though too. Okay. So the system performance measures, what they are a set of parameters and measures that have been assigned to COCs for the data quality, and it all revolves around certain things that we're going to go over here today. When I had mentioned, when I had discussed doing this presentation to begin with, the initial thought was that we were going to be reviewing and discussing the HUD system performance measures. But based on how the current climate is when it comes to HUD, Bruno and I had discussed, and also Scott, we had discussed doing the state system performance measures instead. And one of the primary reasons for this, if not the primary reason, is because we get 90% of our funding, 99% of our funding from the state. So it makes a lot more sense to have a presentation on the state versus the federal government. And so it really starts with project types within our COC. And as you can see here with the certain project types, here's a little diagram of the different project types that are available within the HMIS. And I mean, we have street outreach, coordinated entry, all going, from there, moving into emergency sheltering, transitional housing, rapid rehousing, permanent supportive housing. And a lot of this really revolves around the different, this is all the different project types. The HMIS administrator, which I am, I'm the one who ends up setting up this information in HMIS to, and it really, it plays into the different types of performance measures that we end up being evaluated on. Each of the projects are, they all end up, like I said, I'm feeling really lost right now without my notes. I really apologize. But so these are the project types that we have in HMIS. And then moving on from there, we can go ahead and jump into the what HMIS and system perform, the relationship between the two, and what exactly is reported. So when we talk about COC funding, there's certain project types that we have. We have emergency shelters, transitional housing, rapid rehousing, permanent housing, services only, and coordinated entry. These are all the projects that the COC funds. And in the little boxes next to it, these are all the different agencies that have these projects in HMIS right now that are funded by our local COC. And so when we look at the different projects, these all end up playing into the system performance measures as a whole. Then we also look at non-COC funded HMIS projects. And so here we have Lake County Behavioral Health Services, part of Hope Center. We saw Hope Center on the first slide, or the slide previous, who is receiving COC funding, but we also have Hope Center who is not receiving certain funding from the COC as well. That ends up being CalAIM and other funding through different entities. And so even though they are not required to enter into HMIS, they are still in our COC, in our HMIS projects. And so we have, permanent supportive housing, or we have permanent housing here. Also services only. Adventist Health has services only. So does Lake County Department of Social Services, Behavioral Health, LCOE, Nation's Finest. All of these end up making up the different projects that are in HMIS. And the reason why this is important is because when we start looking at the different measures, they all end up being reported to the state when we do the HDIS report. There are 7 system performance measures total that end up getting reported to the HCD. And so let's get into the system performance measures. Measure 1 ends up being 2 different pieces with this measure. It ends up looking at all people who are experiencing homelessness in the COC based on all projects. And then it also looks at the number of people who are accessing services within the COC. That's measure 1A. And then we get into measure 1B, which is the estimated number of people experiencing unsheltered homelessness that have been counted during the pit count. So this plays into, some of our data really revolving around the number of individuals we have here in Lake County that are experiencing homelessness at any given time during the reporting period. When we look at measure 2, we start looking at the number of people accessing services who are experiencing homelessness for the first time. And so this plays into some of those numbers behind behind, somebody who may be coming into coordinated entry for the first time, and then maybe they end up, going from there and getting into one of the shelters, or they may end up going directly into, a rapid rehousing program. But these all, anybody who is experiencing homelessness and who is receiving services, that ends up going into Measure 2. Measure 3 is exits to permanent housing. And so this is going to be for all projects in HMIS, whether it's coordinated entry or a permanent housing project. It really looks at all the data for every project and who's exiting into a permanent housing situation. With Measure 4, it's the length of time homeless. So this really gets into how much time a person spends experiencing homelessness in the project that is being reported on. And this goes over, it looks at the like the average length of time in general, and that's where the percentage comes in for this performance measure. And it goes through all the projects within our COC. And then we also look at the returns to homelessness. So it's very, very, I think, crucial to look at how many people we have placed into permanent housing that end up returning to homelessness. That gives us as a COC an opportunity to look at what it is, where some of those gaps are in services, what it is that we may be missing as a continuum to help the individuals who are receiving permanent housing solutions. What can we do to help them maintain that housing? What can we do to help stabilize them in that housing? And I think that's really where the hub comes in, because not only is the hub coordinated entry, but it really provides a lot of referrals to wraparound services that can help these individuals who are experiencing homelessness, who end up stepping into a permanent housing situation, receive the wraparound services they need to be able to keep that housing situation. And then we get into successful placements from street outreach. These would be individuals who right now we haven't had any street outreach programs in HMIS. Up until yesterday, actually, we just started a new project in HMIS for street outreach, and that is through the peer support centers. And so we will start looking at the individuals who end up coming through the peer support centers, and a lot of those individuals end up in the coordinated entry system. But so many of them end up receiving services at the peer support centers, and they really do act as a street outreach venue for a lot of our individuals experiencing homelessness. So if they end up entering into the street outreach programs within HMIS and they end up finding housing solutions, that ends up playing into this measure right here. And then the final measure is the specific populations within our COC. And this really dives into like chronically homeless, veterans, families, unaccompanied youth. And what the state wants to see is how we are acting and how we are we're stepping into helping the different populations within the continuum of care. And this can also play into the underserved populations, or the what's the other word? I can't remember it right now. Overrepresented populations. How are we moving through this data? How are we looking at this data and able to start diving into some of those areas where we're missing the mark here on some of our breakout populations and our underserved populations? And so this really is the 7 measures within the state reporting. And it all ends up playing into how we are doing as a COC. And I think it's important for us to see the expectations of the state end up playing into how we end up receiving our funding. when we end up showing, and this applies to HUD too, when we end up showing that we are making improvements, on one hand, it can hurt us because we may not receive as much funding because we don't need to put out as much as we have before to be able to sustain the services that we have, because we have more people who are not experiencing homelessness. But on the other hand, it also shows that we are improving as a continuum of care. And in the eyes of HUD, it gives us the ability to actually start going after some of that HUD funding. Although, like I said, right now, it's all kind of uncertain where that's going to go. But the system performance measures really is kind of like our report card. It's really determining how we're doing as a continuum of care. And if there's anything that we need to improve upon within our projects and our data.
Thank you, Melissa. One of the things I know that HUD has the potential of giving us a little bit more funding if we have clean data and make sure to always have good data to provide. I don't know that the state of California gives us more if our data is cleaner. Is it the same, or is it just a requirement for reporting purposes only, not for better access to larger pots of money?
Scott, do you know the answer to that question?
Like, I don't think that I know for HUD, the quality of the data that we have in HMIS that we submit makes a difference in the funding we receive from HUD. At one point, we were getting like 6,000. We're now up to 50,000 in the last 2 or 3 years. But I don't believe HHAP is, if you don't have clean data, you could only access 1 million. If you have great data, then you can access 2 million. I don't see it that way.
I don't see it that way either.
Okay.
That seems to be the allocation is based on a lot of our pit count. And I mean, I think there is probably some relation with our performance measures that shows we're doing something.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well, that it does have impacts on, so I know for HHAP 5, I think it was, where the governor kind of put a pause and said the average decrease of homelessness based on the applications he had received was a decrease of 2%. Was really upset about that. And so he said, I'm not giving you guys money until you redo it. But the application also would hurt you if you didn't meet what you said you would do. So if we all said we're going to reduce it by 20% because it sounds great, but we didn't make it, it would actually hurt us for not making it. So everybody lowballed their anticipation in hoping not to get hurt, but still hoping to do a good job. So it's kind of like the application is asking us to lowball it rather than doing something that can hurt. So there is potential outcomes that could hurt from some of these state rules. But it's, I think, continues to harp on what we've been saying, that it's important that we collect the data. We make sure the data is relevant and done in the right way so that we're not identifying the projects incorrectly. We're exiting projects when people actually move on. There's been a lot of that. And I know Melissa has been really on top of it the last 2 or 3 months. We've made some changes of how we engage with our contractors and our members by proactively submitting to them, here's what we're missing from you. Here's some data that we need you to review. And I think that's working for you, Melissa, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's been, there's definitely been an improvement. I've already been going back and forth through emails today, just helping individuals get their data, or their agencies get their data cleaned up.
So just know, clean data helps all of us. It allows us to access greater funds and allows us to put out RFPs, which maybe your agencies might be able to connect, and we can help you.
Yeah, I think, the performance measures, you're right, there's kind of a balance between performance measures and the pit count. One is identifying how large the problem is, and the other is, measuring what you're doing about it. And I think, our pit count is fine. It demonstrates we have an issue. The performance measures, what they really need to demonstrate is that whatever our pit count is, we are moving forward and making progress. I don't think it necessarily has to negatively even reduce our, well, that's not the right word, but just reduce our pig count, that's the goal we all have. But I think the main thing we need to demonstrate is that we're getting people into permanent housing. We're getting, many people even in emergency housing, that we're showing that we're making progress in that area, that we're doing, taking the funding and doing something positive with it.
Any questions or comments for Melissa?
Question.
Please.
On your categories, I saw where you had chronic homelessness, families, veterans, but I didn't see short-term homelessness. Are you tracking short-term?
That's not something that we track within the system performance measures. That would probably be something that we end up looking at from a COC standpoint, like within this local COC.
Don't we measure like first-time homelessness?
Yes.
Mhm.
So that
That's not in the state system performance measures, but that is in the HUD system performance measures. So those are some of the differences between the state and HUD. And if we look at both, then there's a really great, robust report on how we're doing as a COC in general, but there is a pretty big difference between state and HUD system performance measures.
And HUD is going through changes. That's why we didn't want to do a presentation about HUD. From what I understand, they're looking to really not support housing first. We'll see if that's going to actually happen or not. I'm just going to speculate. It feels more like jail first or institutionalized first is where we're heading based on the way the federal government is talking at this moment in time, which is not going to work because we just don't have the beds. They're not going to build those institutions. They're going to expect those institutions to be available, and they're just not. We're already struggling to find those institutions for those that truly need those institutions. And we all know that all those that are experiencing homelessness are not automatically those types of individuals that require those institutions.
They came out this week and they want to cut HUD funding. I mean, not just for Section 8 vouchers, but also for COCs.
Yeah.
They really want to, some of the permanent, particularly the permanent housing that they're funding through the COCs, they want to cut that. Fortunately, for the first time, because we don't receive money from HUD, it's the only time we've been blessed for not receiving money. But that's the case. It won't impact us like it will other COCs across the country.
And again, we get like our HAPs are anywhere between $1.2 to $2 million when we receive them. Typically, they put them out every single year. That's not the case necessarily that we've received the money every single year because politics holds that up from time to time. But the maximum we've gotten on an annual basis from HUD is $50,000. So our programs and our services are not in limbo at this moment in time. We just might take a little bit of a bump of loss and not something that's going to be absolutely felt by those that are getting our services. Any other questions? Thank you, Melissa.
There were questions in the chat.
Oh, were there? I can't see.
Clarify what you mean by clean data.
Clean, Melissa, the question was, there were a couple questions, but the first one, which I now don't see. If you look in the chat, what do we mean by return to homelessness? What do we mean by clean data?
Yeah, return to homelessness is somebody who is within our continuum of care and receiving services. They end up moving into, and it can actually be across all projects, not necessarily just going into a housing project. But even if somebody enters into, let's say, Homerton Haven, and they're receiving emergency sheltering services, when they exit that program back to literal homelessness, which is a place not meant for human habitation, that is a return to homelessness. If somebody is in a permanent housing project and they end up being exited to to being literally homeless, that is a return to homelessness. Clean data, I did answer in the chat. It is data that is without errors and unduplicated data.
And then also a question was, how do we account for pit count unhoused persons in HMIS? Is it a specific project?
Right now, I am in the process of, I worked with our consultant to get all of our past pit count individuals in HMIS, but it's not a project. The pit count is its own separate database that we end up reporting on, and that's because these individuals are volunteering to give surveys, not necessarily stepping into projects that we are funding in HMI through HMIS.
And pick is point in time, right? It's
Yes.
Yes. Yes, point in time count.
Or Thursday in January.
And then Ronnie just raised her hand.
Honey,
Yeah, doesn't the pit have a different definition of, I mean, are we within HMIS held to the same HUD standards of the definition of unhoused as opposed to being able to capture like the McKinney-Vento definition of unhoused?
It all within HMIS, it all is the same standard. It is all still literally homeless, a place that's not meant for human habitation. If a person is couch surfing or McKinney-Vento homeless, then that ends up being, I would say, like for me, I would say that's somebody who is in a temporary housing situation. Because they don't necessarily, if they're couch surfing, they don't know where they're gonna go the next day necessarily, you know, and so that would be a temporary housing situation. If they're doubled up, then that's a permanent housing situation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it might not be the best of circumstances, that's still a permanent housing situation.
this is why when we look at partnerships numbers, when we look at social services numbers, when we look at other numbers, those numbers are vastly different than what we have currently within our system because of the definition changes.
Right. Couch surfing, if it's less than 30 days, is considered homeless for us.
Right. And it's also through a self-identifying as well. It's
We don't verify.
Yeah.
But not according to HUD.
Correct.
So our,
According to HUD. Go ahead,
our
Anna.
reported clean numbers are clean numbers for McKinney-Vento count for all of our districts for the 24-25 school year. We reported 976 students, and 56 of those were unaccompanied.
Usually it's around 7, 8. Okay. All right, I see no further hands. Thank you again, Melissa. We're going to move on. This is not much of a presentation, just wanted to at least open up and receive any feedback. But we did meet as a strategic planning team to talk about the town hall that we put together. We provided our own feedback as to what went well and what we could do better for the next time. And rather than sharing with you what we debriefed individually in that group, we want to hear from you without tainting your views or giving you a bias right off the bat. We want the raw feedback from you guys. Appreciate everybody that showed up and supported the town hall. Really appreciate all those that helped put it together and volunteered. I thought it went well, and I think the majority of the people that attended also felt that way. But I'd love to hear your feedback because we do want to do this again. And we do want to incrementally get better and better at what we do to make sure that people are appreciative of what we're offering.
I have some feedback. I'll read my feedback.
Please.
So we did a survey while we were there, and we didn't have a sign in. We were just trying to hand out surveys to everybody that walked in. We figured about 70 people attended, but we had 55 attendees actually took the survey, which I thought was pretty good. The ages range from 26 to 80, with the average age of 53.4 years. So it was kind of an older audience, but you know, those are the people that are, you know, out there caring. 24 of the surveys participants said they had a family size of 1. So that was the highest number. So a lot of people are out there on their own. The majority, 39, had secure housing. 14 indicated they had insecure housing and 2 did not answer. So a third of the people that attended that night did not have secure housing. So that's something to think about when you're in a room with people. 52 residents in the Lake County with so there were 52 residents of Lake County attending, a couple were from Mendocino. So I just counted the Lake County residents. We had 1,199 years of living in Lake County combined. So it was an average participant of living in Lake County of 23 years. So most people there had a lot of experience with Lake County. That was the average. They're 23 years. That blew my mind. The longest resident was 66 and the newest resident claimed 1 year. So a lot of people, that was a drastic thing too. 34 participants have been without a home at some point in their lives. So out of 55 people, 34 participants there were without a home at some point in their lives. And the longest one was somebody with 31 years being with and without housing. Most survey respondents have stable income. Over half had 36, over 36,000, and 6 answered 20 to 36,000. 6 of the survey participants at the town hall identified that they were homeless on the streets, and 7 were guests from the shelter. So we did have people there that were living it in the moment. So it was very interesting. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Thank you for being at the front and greeting everybody and forcing them to take the survey.
Well, that was just the geographical. We have a lot of housing information, but I just didn't have time to compile all the requests that they would like to see the community do. So I'll work on that and bring that next time. So we're wanting to get the survey out at the December event, the Compassion and Cold, and then even maybe at the pit count as well. So we get more input from our residents that are homeless or having housing insecurity to find out what they want. I was surprised skimming through, a lot of people want camping, realizing there is no housing. They want a safe place to camp. I mean, they're realistic. And I think, yeah, that's something we need to think about as a COC as well.
And so we're also using that data for our gap analysis too, right?
We probably could count some of the survey for our, we do it every other year, the gap analysis. So this is kind of counting. For some of them, you have to fill in a box somewhere.
Are we on the other year, every other year, or the?
We've been, because we're such a small county, we've been doing the gaps analysis every other year.
Are we on the off or the on?
We're on the off.
Oh,
We just updated it not too long ago.
Last year, because Meredith did that nice spreadsheet for us at the strategic planning committee.
I just remember, data like that has always been really valuable. When we've done the gap analysis in the past.
So I'm going to respond to your feedback, and I don't plan on doing that for everybody.
Okay.
Mainly because you're the vice chair, and I think that I can. But you talked about doing a survey during the pit count. We need to talk about that for the fact that I'm worried that we might be asking too much.
Okay.
Because we're already asking them to sit down with us, be interviewed. And so maybe we can implement some of those questions within the pit count interview. But having 2 separate, a survey and the pit count interview, I think might be more, and we might lose folks that we can really
So the demographic we could probably use differently, but some of the housing ideas I think we might want to implement.
Well,
I think we did.
But remember, we did this year. We did ask them what kind of housing they want to see. That's why we were able to collect data on safe parking and outside and apart. I mean, so we did. If we just want to add camping as a thing, we can do that.
Okay, yeah.
But that question already exists within the survey. So I don't think a second survey would work on the pig count. Ditto that.
I remember Mrs. Would like to use the survey at the compassion.
Yes, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know Ronnie has her hand up and I have feedback too, but she had her hand up first.
And by the way, I failed you miserably. You told me you were there to get people to sign into HMIS, I think it was, or you were
And coordinated.
coordinated.
If there was anybody.
And I said absolutely nothing about you doing that, and I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
We talked, I went on stage and I forgot everything.
That's okay.
Ronnie.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I received a phone call from a very nice landlord who said that she is active in housing people with HUD vouchers and Section 8. And she was very disappointed that we did not have representation from the local landlord community to speak about their perspective of housing people that we are often trying to house. And so I said I would relay that message, and I encouraged her to come to our COC meetings so she can have a voice at the table as well. I don't know if she's here or not.
Thank you, Ronnie. Any other feedback?
Yeah, so I just want to say I thought the whole event was really well planned. I really liked the conversational kind of town hall style that you and Jay did. I thought it was very effective. For the next one, if we do have people, resources and so forth, it might be nice to have it spread out a little bit because it was a little congested when you walked in. I love that you had food for people as well. I think that's always a nice offering. The presentations that everybody gave, I thought were amazing. I mean, it was great. I did think that some presentations, part of the presentations maybe went a little too long. And I think maybe the format, if it changes a little bit, it'll be more, if the format were different, it would have been conducive to that. But I think we were short on time and it was new and all of that, and people just wanted to get the word out. I like the idea of having kind of a panel at some point where there's a lot of different agencies maybe present, landowners present, and it becomes a bigger conversation as well. But I thought it was really great, and I'm looking forward to attending to the next one.
Thank you.
That it?
And I was the first one to go too long in the presentation, which just pushed everything to be too long. So,
Well, there was a lot to be said, so it was all good.
I think we were only half an hour over. We said 5:30 to 7:30. I think we were done at 8 o'clock, so it wasn't horrible. And
Right.
majority of everybody stayed.
Mhm.
I would say 90%, if not more, stayed through the whole thing. So obviously there was interest in wanting to finish and not leave at a specific time.
Yep.
Well, I loved all of it, and I have no recommendations for cutting any of it.
Thank you for cutting any of it.
Yeah, I mean, what would I cut? I can't point a finger at anybody.
Thank you. Any other comments?
We have Caitlin and then Melissa.
Yeah, Caitlin.
So I would like to just highlight our lived experience speakers and what was trending and what they would like to see from our community, and that was kindness. I feel like that was a really touching part of the experience that I had at the town hall. And then I was wanting to ask Ronnie in regards to the landlord, was that Miss Beer? The landlord?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So she had been referred over to me for housing navigation working group, and we have been in communications and hope to bring her to the table at housing navigation so that she can speak to her experience and provide more information to us at the housing navigators work group. So hopefully we can connect with her and keep her in communication. So I just wanted to let you know that those conversations are continuing.
I encouraged her to reach out to you all, so that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Melissa?
Honestly, I don't have much more to add than Caitlin just said. I wanted to highlight the lived experience speakers and just how thoughtful it was. And I really think it added so much. And moving forward for the next one, just really taking what they had shared and maybe coming up with, like Christina had said, having a panel. But one thing I was really proud of was just the thoughtfulness that went into their sharing, and just a sense of pride of the work that we all get to do, and seeing that because it was impactful and very powerful. So thank you for bringing this, and I look forward to the next one.
Thank you, Melissa. Anna?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, Julia brought this up in the chat where I helped her volunteer with the food tables at the event. And Julia had mentioned that there were quite a few people who came just for food and taking food for other people as well. And so so they didn't really engage with the resource table at that point. And so an option for next time is to just kind of provide them papers along with the food. And that also ties into my next comment on like bags. So a lot of people actually were struggling to hold a lot of the food, water, and all the papers from the resource table as well. And so a lot of people ask for like paper bags or little shopping bags that we just had laying around to kind of carry all those things. So maybe for the next event, we could collect just a bunch of paper bags or plastic bags or whatever, and just provide them to anybody who comes by. So those are just some observations from the events that I noticed.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you for your help. I see no further hands. Any others here in the room? So please take what I'm about to say lightly. Our main purpose somewhat did not happen. Our goal was to get people interested and to know who the COC was, but to join the COC. Thus far, we have received 0 applications to join the COC. Our goal and purpose of informing the world what the COC does, that came through. I think that was very clear, and I think people have a better understanding of who we are and what we do. Our shirts were meant to be QR codes to get people to be easy access to our applications. We mentioned membership and how to become a member at least 3 or 4 times throughout the whole town hall. We did not get that, and I think that's okay. And maybe we should be more focused on the other parts that people are looking for, which is to be better informed, better understanding, and if they're interested enough, I think they'll reach out. But we put a lot of effort into that, and it was a little bit of a bummer to see that did not come to fruition. But at the same time, I think that the whole thing, in fact, was really good. I really liked it. I think there's some issues that we expressed during our planning strategy. But overall, those issues are all things that can be overcome. Timing was probably the biggest issue of all, but that's okay. Thank you, everybody. Let's go ahead and move on.
Caitlin has her hand up.
Oh, Caitlin's back. Yep, you're muted. You muted yourself as you started speaking.
Okay, thank you, Bruno. So I just wanted to add to that, Bruno, when it comes to like the communication we could, in theory, have in the future. I know we want to move forward, but it could be that we, discuss like what our times and dates are when we have our meetings for each committee moving forward on those kind of events that we hold. So maybe we could do that, and when we do have like pauses or breaks, like just to reminding everybody of what time and dates our committees and meetings are held.
Thank you for that.
Bruno, did you get any information from the JPEG? How many people watched, or?
Last time I looked, there was, and that was probably about a week ago. There was over 300, 400 views after the fact. During the actual town hall, I think we had 29 people that stayed on the majority of the time throughout watching. And when I counted, when I sat down at one of the seats, when I think either RCS or I think Ronnie was doing her presentation, I counted in the audience, that included some of us, I counted 87, and then there was 10 folks on stage. So I counted that we should have probably had about 97, 100 people there, and I'm satisfied with that. I was a little worried at about 5:25. It looked a little empty, but it filled in just right.
And we sent in.
They also had it streaming at the shelter too, so the guests that weren't there were also watching it, but it was only on one phone.
Courtney, I didn't even check in to see if that was happening. I wanted it to happen, and the fact that it was makes me really happy.
Me
so thank
too.
you for that. Thank you. Ben?
I apologize, I wasn't able to be there, but did
We noticed.
paper applications? For folks, paper applications and pens, because if the average age is 53, I'm not sure a lot of folks are gonna go to a QR code and apply online.
And it's a little awkward to point a camera at somebody's back.
Yeah.
But we try to be as comfortable with it as possible. But for next time, having a paper application would be a good idea as well. All right. Again, very thankful for everybody who put time into it, attended and put time into being there during the town hall. Just overall, a great team effort, I think, from us. Showing off the shirts, who our team was. There's a lot of the same shirts all over the place. I just think it really showed that we're a force to be reckoned with.
Barbara has her hand up.
Yes, I spent some time today with some people who are camping in Clear Lake near the library, and I doubt that any of them were at the meeting. And I'm thinking that one of the people has been a camper for 10 years, named Sherry. And I'm thinking if we were to pay people, or at least that they knew that they would get food to attend anything like this, or that they'd get a ride, we might meet our goal of getting people to join. But I think it really does take a bribe.
Thank you, Barbara. Yes, I agree. We did have a lot of food. I called it the Great Granola Debacle. Supposedly I did ask for granola bars, and supposedly it was really difficult to come up with the amount of granola bars that I asked for. When I went to go look for a granola bar, there was not a single granola bar left. So it turns out we probably should have gotten more granola bars. So I think the food was definitely a attraction. Whether people came in, took food and left, I don't know how many did that. But the fact is, I think for these types of things, we have to have food.
And cookies.
Yeah. I could guess about how many people did that. I would say about a quarter of them. There were quite a few.
Right.
That's why it would be good to have something to give to them.
You want food? Here's a package, and here's your food.
Yeah, and maybe even say, and whatever, give us a call, or here's a sticker, or here's a token for something to call us, or something, just some incentive.
I'm going to move on to our committee updates. And unless somebody wishes to stop me, most of our updates are on the agenda, so there's not really a need to have to speak to it. I'm going to go one by one. If there's any questions, then please ask them. Or if the chair wishes to elaborate more. First one is HMIS CES. Melissa, we had a presentation from you. Did you have anything more that you wanted to provide?
Christina did put together a very nice presentation involving the data. And so what I ended up doing was kind of roughly breaking that down a little bit to be able to present when that's from coordinated entry. And so this is the September stats there was one training that happened. There were 38 active enrollments, 35 referrals, 91 discharges from the hub, 92 inactive enrollments, and then 13 assessments total that were taken. And then the only other thing that I would like to report on is that there has been data standard changes that took place yesterday, October 1st. And I already have been experiencing some erring that's taking place in HMIS. So there may be a couple things that end up being off coming up in the next month, but Bonterra, who is our vendor, is aware of it, and they are working on the back end to fix the issues that are happening within the reporting. November, the HDIS report is due. And usually in November, they open up the HUD LSA reporting too. So we're coming up into reporting time. Usually from November to April, there's one report that happens after another. So that's coming up. And then other than that, the family vulnerability assessment is done. I will be building the form in HMIS this month and hopefully having a training for all of the access points. And then we're going to launch our new assessments that are going to start hopefully November 1st is my goal to getting that done. And then other than that, I also have some information for the admin piece. And if I could just spit it all out, then you guys can ignore me for the rest of the time. And that is,
Hold on. I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
You said a few things that I wish you would elaborate on. What's HDIS? I know what HMIS is.
It's the Homeless Data Integration System.
Oh, it's
That's
kind
the
of almost.
state of California.
Right, that's how we report our numbers to the state.
Okay, so we use HMIS to provide HDIS.
Okay.
Okay. And then what's LSA?
Longitudinal something. It's a HUD. It's where we take our HMIS and report it to HUD.
Okay, like a study analysis or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay. You said HDIS, you then said HUD, and then you said LSA, and I just needed to clarify a couple of these things.
I was thinking the same thing.
Please continue with the administrative stuff.
Okay.
So
Right now.
You're on 6.6.1, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So right now, the admins are doing a TA workshop for HMIS. And that includes Heather Frawley, Patricia Russell, and myself. And while Patricia Russell is learning about HMIS and what the admin piece to HMIS means, she's just kind of sitting in and learning. With Heather being on leave, it really ends up just being, I guess, really Patty and I who are working through this whole TA process. But I'm really excited about the direction that this is going. We're going over the HMIS fundamentals. And that really includes like the governance charter, the privacy policy, the security and privacy trainings. And so Patty and I are going to be looking over a lot of that information and updating it. We also are building an annual calendar. And that calendar is going to include all the trainings that we're going to have annually. It's going to include all the reports that are due to HUD and the state, plus the quarterly reporting that is requested from from this body right here that's in our bylaws. The calendar is going to include the performance reviews that take place, monthly and weekly TA that's provided by myself, and anything else that is in there that I can't think of right now. But there's going to be a calendar coming up. I would like to get that into the governance charter too for HMIS. And I think it's a great time because we are going to be discussing the bylaws coming up pretty quick with strategic planning. So this ends up really jumping into a nice way to be able to present more information in the bylaws that will hopefully just translate right back to the governance charter. We don't have one. We haven't had one. It pretty much has been, the policy is we're going by the HMIS data standards, but there's a lot that goes into it as well. And so there'll be more to come when it comes to that TA that's being provided to us. And then I'm done.
And I would just add, just talking with Melissa, this is really an exciting opportunity. Reminds me, when we did the 100-day challenge a little while ago, years ago, where we had some really intensive technical assistance on a specific topic over some time, and that's what Melissa and Patty are experiencing right now with the TA that they're getting, and so they're really hoping to be able to take HMIS and formalize some of the processes we do with a policy that our bylaws can refer to, and so I think it's a really valuable experience that they're going through.
I'm actually surprised that you mentioned HUD TA. I thought we had our TA canceled. Is this a new TA? Or did it come back to life?
It's an annual TA that we've received each year. We had our Jillian taken away from us from home base, but then we ended up with a new HUD TA representative who's been working with us.
It's from a
This
different
TA
company.
Yeah, this TA happens annually. It's the workshops that HUD puts together. So for now, they're being funded. And hopefully that continues.
Probably not.
Okay, well, keep hoping. We will all keep hoping. All right, thank you very, any questions before we move on? Jay, you're next, Interfaith.
I got a couple of late breaking things. The Cycle of Care project that we talked about last year, how do we get our unhoused community not to discard the things that they have once they get wet or dirty? Started as a project to work through interfaith through local churches. Bruno came up with a brilliant plan of what if we started using the local libraries. Christopher Beach and I are meeting next Thursday to ratify that whole thing. So he's very interested in the project. The plan is to get them into both libraries on both sides of the lake. Maybe Middletown will play a role in this as well. We'll see how that goes. But Adventist Health is waiting for an administrative approval. They are seeding $1,000 into the project. Typically, 2 loads of laundry should cost about $20. And I'm averaging across all of the different laundromats. They all have a different metric for how many certain quarters cost this and versus the dryer. But if we put $20 onto every card, that gives us 50 cards total with the first seed. And then we'll pass those out across 5 different locations. So we'll have 10 at Hope Center, Homerton Haven, Lake County Behavioral Health, Circle of Native Minds, and RCS. We'll grab those 10. And then we will recycle them through, and I will try and get backloaded churches to try and work the project in. We still don't have access to the plates, but we may have access to the people. So we'll see which churches are involved with that. So two updates for Cycle of Care. This is the last, from what I'm told or what I'm looking at with the weather report, it looks like the weather is going to get better again. So a little bit of reprieve from the colder weather, but it's coming. So we need to be prepared for it. So this is what we're working on to get ahead of it.
Thank you for grabbing that one by the horns. I failed you with the Christopher Beach, but I'm really happy that you reached out and that he's having the conversation with you.
No failure at all. You started the conversation. I get to pick it up where you left it off. That's what I said.
Thank you. Any questions? All right, point in time.
Sweet. I think performance review is next, but I'll go.
Oh, performance review. We're going to be reviewing stuff in November. You sent out emails. We're done.
Sweet. I have for your, get your pens ready. The next 2 pit count meetings, because it's time to plan for the next pit count. You all were way less excited than you should be. All right. So the next 2 meetings, we will be meeting twice in October on different days. Sorry, I know you can't attend the first one because it's Tuesday, but it has to, I have to be able to be there in order to run the meeting. So the next pit count meeting, Tuesday, October 21st at 8:30. And then the next meeting after that, I'm just giving the heads up now, is Thursday, October 30th, also at 8:30. Now, last year, the pit count met on every Thursday at 8:30. I cannot do that with my schedule, so I will be alternating days, but I will try not to have them all on a Tuesday, and I cannot have them all on a Thursday. So if you served on the pit count last year, like you showed up on the day of the pit count, or if you were just in my regular pit count email, you will get a link to both of these meetings tomorrow. And if you aren't in either of those groups, Melissa will also have a link to the meeting and she will be able to forward it. She already has those dates, not the link yet, but I will send that to you tonight in actual fact.
So we'll send it out to all of our.
You send it out to whoever you want to. My commitment is to send it to the people who did the work.
Send it out to everybody that we have on our list.
Okay, sweet. Anybody's welcome. It is going, both of these meetings, the 21st and the 30th, are going to be online meetings. I will include the agendas with the email that is going out. And then my last item, I only had 2 dates and one other thing. It is time to order the bags. if, we talked last year about the very special, I know you asked me about it, what we thought, what made me think of it. Thank you very much. They are made for us. So they're not like just sitting around in a warehouse. So we need to order them now to be certain that we have them in time to get filled for January. And then I resent to the committee what all the surveys last time said they want in the bags. So I just want to verify that my responsibility for ordering those things is 0. Is that correct?
As long as the group says yes to spend the money on it, then I'm sure Scott and Melissa will be able to help and follow up on that.
Delegate to someone who volunteers.
Right, but you have the money? I mean, like, I don't have money to order those things, so it's not me that's ordering the bags.
So you send me the information.
Thought we already voted on spending.
Yeah.
We
So
did.
if you
Yeah, I
could-
think last. We just have to get the
Send,
list.
send me the information so I can figure it out.
Okay,
How much is it?
I sent all of that to you.
I know, but I'm just trying to think.
I don't.
Pay for this, you know.
I don't remember,
Okay.
but it was within the budget that I was given.
So it's the poncho, sleeping bag, kind of.
Yeah, all of that in the, yeah,
Okay.
We'll dig it up.
I can resend the email.
Please send it to me.
Okay.
Number one, thank you for continuing to volunteer to be the chair.
Yes.
You have no idea what kind of smile that puts on my face. While I may not be able to make it on Tuesday, I'm going to do my best to be there on October 30th. If you, however you need me to help, whether it's the day of the pick count, if you need me to roam like I did last time to just help out wherever help is needed, or if there's anything you need in the preparation to the pick count, please do volunteer me for those things.
I will do so.
Any questions? And it looks like it's going to be either January 22nd or January 29th. The 4th is the 22nd, but it's going to be up to Shannon to make that decision on what's best for everybody, because it doesn't have to be as long as it's done by January 30th, I believe is the way that it works. We're going to move on to strategic planning. Anna, we have a little bit of a summary of what you are working on. Do you want to add anything?
Nope.
Love it. Love it. Any questions on nope? All right. And we did the administrative entity, the working.
Separate 6.6.2.
Oh, sorry. We're back to administrative entity. Scott.
Which is the announcement of funding subsidies. So we have, I think we mentioned before that we had 2 RFPs out for the resolution funding. That was for the safe parking project. And then the other one is for prevention and diversion. And so from that, we did, interviews and reviewing and so forth. And we came up with a single provider for that, and that was Catholic Charities. It was found to meet our needs for both.
Looking forward to that relationship.
Me too.
And then you're currently negotiating contracts. correct?
Right, sorry. That's something that, right.
And so those will be coming, they've been awarded, they've been alerted that they will be awarded. You're negotiating the contracts, and the contracts will come to the COC for final approval, and then the BOS for the final approval there.
Right.
Board of Supervisors.
There's a hand raised on the screen.
Hello, hand. Barbara, is that still your hand from before? You have a question?
I couldn't see how to take my hand down, so I meant to. Sorry.
No worries.
Ma-
No
I'll-
worries at all.
Trying to get it down here.
There you go.
Did that do it?
All right. It worked.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. We're gonna move on to our working groups. Again, there's some updates on there. Just real quick, grant selection working group. Right now, there is no grants. They've already been selected.
We didn't have anybody show up at the meeting. Me and Melissa kind of hung out, so we might put out a new invite for a different time.
Okay.
Try to get some more people. We do have some HHAP round 5 money that we had some rapid rehousing for. We just need to get people together to create the recommendations for the request for proposals to bring to the executive committee. And so, yeah, there is some money out there we could still work on and get out in the community, so.
Okay. Make sure you check your email for the next grant selection working group meeting so we can get enough folks in there to be able to get decisions.
Calendar, because I think it's not working out too good for people.
Well, it kind of ebbs and flows. It's-
Ebb and flows, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like we had a lot of people going at that time, like the last meeting even. For some reason, it didn't happen this time. I mean, like I realized it half an hour later. Oh,
Next, we have Housing Navigators Working Group. Caitlin?
So we have no updates for housing navigation, but I do have a reminder that we do meet twice monthly, every first Wednesday and third Wednesday of each month. And I guess I could provide again that Heather isn't going to be present for this next meeting at case conferencing. So Christina, go ahead if you would like to add to that.
Yeah, so I'll be handling the case conferencing in conjunction with Melissa. She's gonna help me with the report, and then I'll lead that conversation. And for September, what I did was, because I didn't have year-to-date data, there's 4 buckets: solutions, not compliant, ongoing, remaining challenges, and unable to contact or locate. So for September, we've had 0 solutions, 0 not compliant, which is good, 5 ongoing remaining challenges, and 2 unable to locate or contact. And again, these are the top 10, the individuals that scored the highest on the coordinated entry vulnerability assessment. So we meet to kind of problem solve and work through that.
I have a stupid question for you.
No question.
No. I mean, I guess it's the philosophy. Would we be more help? It sounds horrible. Would we be more successful if we worked from time to time at looking at the low hanging fruit to get them in a house where we can get 20 people this week, and then again focusing on the difficult ones at a different time, not completely ignoring them. But sometimes I feel there's so much effort being put on some very difficult cases that we're not able to get people in houses that are a little bit easier to move along. Is that something that you do? So for the case conferencing, we did take that feedback, and that's why we broke it out and we meet specifically every other week. So twice, we meet once a month. And then Heather has been really great about if she'll pull that low hanging fruit into the conversation. And, generally I would say we're able to get through people pretty quickly. So we have been able to get through some of the low hanging fruit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if I could,
really
if I can jump in and make a comment to kind of help answer some of that too, Bruno. Case conferencing is a required HUD activity for the top 10 on the binding list.
Gotcha. And I appreciate the fact that we brought back the case conferencing in the first place. That was not necessarily specifically part of the conversation. It was housing navigation. Now that you've split it up, I know that I appreciate the fact that it's being done in that way. So thank you. Any questions, comments? Carissa?
Hey, I apologize. My camera's off. Our internet's really poor here. I just wanted to say what I appreciated about case conferencing is social services involvement. That has been really helpful as we're going over the top 10 most vulnerable with them there with their new TAPE program and the HDAP program. That's been really helpful where we've been able to just recently move someone over and move out of Hope Center through HDAP. And that was with social services, Angelique Cole. So I really appreciate that collaboration. SWIM has been coming regularly. It would be awesome to see some behavioral health housing navigators there, people that know about policy in place and FSP. I have that request I'd like to put out there, but the social services collaboration has been really fantastic. And I just want to say thank you.
That's all, Teresa. Good job, Teresa.
Thank you for that comment. And Scott will crack the whip and we'll get somebody from behavioral health on board.
Sorry, I've been asking.
Next is lived experience. I didn't see Dustin today. Did Dustin show up, Carissa? Meeting?
No, he's not here today. We don't have any updates, except that their next meeting, they meet the Monday after the COC meeting here at Hope Center at 3:00.
Perfect.
That
Thank you very
meeting
much.
falls on Indigenous Peoples' Day, and I'm not sure, I think the county is still using that as a holiday or counting that as a holiday. So county employees may not end up being there.
Okay, thank you, Melissa.
Next is zoning regulations. Angelique, please call me. I spoke about this last time and I have not made any movement on it.
She's out.
What was that?
She left.
She left? Oh, well, please call me. And Scott and Melissa, if you guys can try to elbow me in the ribs from time to time to get the zoning regulations working group going, that would be great. Just because it's not been front of mind and I need to coordinate that with Angelique. So I apologize. No update. Next one is the encampment resolution working group. As you know, we're looking at with Catholic Charities to do the safe parking and looking at some other things as well. I wasn't at the last meeting. Scott, do you want to add any updates?
We had Catholic Charities there, which was nice, and did a round of introductions there. I went through, the thing I remember is going through the budget because I had a question from the state that I passed on and received an answer, got some feedback for that. Because as part of the encampment resolution funding, we had to kind of redo our budget to fit in safe parking. And the state is fine. They said some questions like, well, if you're doing that, then how come you're still serving the same amount on permanent housing, which we had taken the money from. And so we decided how we're going to address that. So we decided we need to meet really regularly, and that, I think that's about it.
Okay. And more to come from those conversations. Is there any progress made on the identifying of a dignity bus or something like that?
I know that came up, but nothing was resolved on it.
Okay, let's keep following up on that because we did set aside some dollars for that, and let's not sit around on those dollars. If that can be beds that we can have today, let's get those beds.
I think the biggest challenge, of course, that we have is determining a site for safe parking.
That's going to be number one.
Site or sites.
Yeah.
And we talked about a few ideas, but we definitely missed you being there with your knowledge of city, county.
Gotcha. Yes, I BS like the best of them.
And Catholic Charities, did attend the outreach event and make some connections with people.
Awesome.
Good things.
Thank you for saying that. I was not aware.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move on. Any questions?
I'm not sure if we mentioned it when we're talking about the lived experience working group. Previously, we talked about one thing I keep working on is about the equity working group. And we were going to try and maybe have some overlap or do something along the lines with the lived experience working group. And I was wondering if has that gone anywhere?
Yeah, Scott, we tried to meet for the last meeting, but we couldn't link on the teams because they couldn't hook up on our system, and I think Melissa was supposed to hook something up for the next meeting where we can meet. Right, Melissa?
Yes.
And if I remember correctly now, Jermaine, the idea was to have that meeting like almost right after the lived experience or right before it or something like that to keep it as simple as possible.
Yes, correct.
Perfect.
Okay. And Leila, you're going to that too, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, perfect. I really count on you two and your experience right there. So thank you.
And so does that mean that you guys are looking at, my calendar is not popping up, but October 6th is that meeting?
Could I be sent an invitation to the lived experience group, please?
So I think we got to wait to the next meeting because of we have a holiday, right? Melissa, you just said. For the
Yeah,
extra meeting?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, but
That's
I
right.
believe it is set up though. So Layla, I will forward that meeting to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so that means we should anticipate it to be on November 17th, since the 6th is not possible.
The 6th?
October 6th.
I thought the holiday was on the 14th or something.
It's the 13th.
13th.
Well, then the 6th is very possible then.
Oh, okay.
Put it back on the calendar.
I have it, when I was setting up the meeting, I was told the second Monday of the month.
It's Indigenous Peoples' Day is 13th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that would be
For
the
some-
13th.
For some reason, I have lived experience on the 6th on my,
I thought Carissa said it was the Monday after this meeting.
yeah.
That's the first time I've heard of that. When
So that-
I set up the meeting, I was told it was the second Monday of the month, so I have it on the 13th.
Carissa, when's our next lived experience meeting?
Monday. Can we correct that, Melissa? It's the
Yes.
Monday after the COC meeting.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I can
October
do that.
6th at 3 p.m.
Yes.
Perfect.
Great. I'm glad we got that straightened out.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you for that question
All
and
right,
looking forward
cool.
to that. And it looks like I'll be able to make it as well, so I'll join you guys. All right, we're gonna move on. Next is shelter updates. We have a written update on the agenda from Hope Center. We have a written update from the Nest. Is there, and right now, basically, 2 open beds was the update on Hope Center. Is that still the same?
We have, yes, we have 2 open male top bunks. And the referral process for Hope Center has changed. If anyone still has those old paper forms, please disregard them. We utilize coordinated entry. The best way to refer to Hope Center is by calling the hub.
Perfect. And that number is on our agenda, 707-900-1307.
That's great.
Next, the Nest, we have 2 small rooms with a family-sized room coming soon, which is awesome. And we're housing 4 mothers and 5 children during the month of September. And Project Restoration, any beds available?
I don't see anyone on the call, but I believe there was an open women's bed.
Okay. Thank you very much. Scotts Valley, any update?
Well, we did have our board meeting before the town hall, and yeah, Summer gave me permission to always report for Scotts Valley. Finally had a chance to ask her, so I will do that. She wasn't able to come to the town hall meeting because she was in Chico taking, I think it's an oral exam. She had to memorize 300 pages of information, and so we're moving along. Hopefully by the next quarterly meeting, we'll be up and running. And,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Supporting Bright Futures, we have 2 women's beds open, 3 men's beds open, and 3 men veterans beds open. Is that still the same, Angelique?
She's not on.
Oh, she was on. That's right. I just told her to call me and she wasn't there. And it looks like she's continuing to expand. I don't mean to just highlight Supporting Bright Futures. I think everybody's doing great, but the fact that she has started recently and is continuing to expand as quickly as she is, just makes me happy. We needed that, and I think there's others who are taking interest in doing that kind of transitional housing as well. Hamilton Haven, I know we had Senya on earlier. I don't know if she's still there.
I can speak for us.
Yes,
This is
Courtney,
Courtney.
you're here.
Hi, I'm here. We are currently full and our Oh No is also full, which our Oh No's are one night only.
Okay.
But it
That was
changes,
easy.
so keep on calling
does.
just in case.
Thank you, Courtney. And with that, we are, is there something else?
You gotta ring it.
Oh, Caitlin?
I'm wondering if we should add swim to shelter updates as they also have housing options too.
Okay, we'll have to communicate with them, and I don't think I know they came here, but I don't think we ever got them as members here, and we need to get them to become members.
They did become a member and then they never showed back up, and I've been working with them to try and become a member again. I received a new membership application, and we have been sending a request for the previous 3 months, and so this is actually the first month that membership application was taken off of the agenda.
Okay, well, let's continue to communicate with them, and that way we can get that information. Carissa?
Yes, I just wanted to highlight swim coming, and they presented at the Housing Navigators Working Group this week, and I had no idea that they had some of the services they did as far as like rapid rehousing that they're doing. So it would really be good to have them doing updates and at the table.
And they are looking at expanding, actually holding titles for trailers as well. So they are expanding that inventory also. So it's a great conversation I think that we could have.
Yeah, no, we could always learn more, even if we think we know what we think we know. All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to adjourn this general committee meeting, and in exactly 2 minutes, we will start our executive committee meeting. So we can all make it to dinner in time.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Jermaine.
Thank you.
Bye.
I haven't seen the tables set up like this in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I always look for that. Just in case, if I.
Rachel?
Waiting on insurance to approve surgery. Yeah, no, I have, it's actually 3 discs. It's 5 vertebrae and tension the nerves, so I can't feel my hand really. It moves, so that's good news.
Not feeling is better than feeling.
Yeah, I call it my zombie hand. But yeah, I talked to a neurosurgeon. And, yeah, it's my zombie hand. And he said, oh, well, we could just fix the one that's pinching your nerve or all 3 of them. And I was like, well, let's just fix them while I'm young enough to kind of recover.
Fell swoop.
Yeah, so just waiting on the approval and then I'll get it.
I'm sorry to hear that, but glad there's at least an option rather than there's nothing we can do.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order for the executive committee team. If we can please start with roll call.
Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye, here in person.
Doreen Gilmore,
You're in person.
Dustin Lawson is absent. Heather Frawley is absent. Jay Murdoch.
Present in person.
We don't have Willow here either. Shannon Kimball off.
Present in person?
Anna Santana.
Here.
Brad Rasmussen.
Here.
Rachel Parsons.
Present.
Melissa Kopf. I'm here on Zoom. Scott Abbott.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum.
All right.
Do we have agendas?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Got 2 boxes worth of agendas. Any additions or changes to the agenda? Scott, Melissa, anybody? Nope.
Got them.
It was online.
Right along.
Approval of September 4th, 2025 meeting minutes. Changes, deletions, additions. If not, looking for a approval. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Brad
I'll second.
and a second from Anna, and I don't think we have any votes online because Mary is not officially on the executive team. We're working on that with the city of Clear Lake. So all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on. Conflict of interest, already stated it earlier. Just go back to those meeting minutes next time. Public comment on anything not on our agenda? Seems redundant. No. We're gonna skip right now the monthly financial review. I'm sorry, Melissa. I know you wanted to move it to the end and I didn't really say yes, and here I am moving it along. But just for time's sakes, I want to make sure we do all the action items. So executive reports, action items, action item update, bylaws, executive committee voting discussion. Scott and Melissa? At this moment, we're just still waiting to bring those bylaws because I don't think we have them. The only thing we have is the MOU.
We kind of already addressed this in the general meeting where I had requested a I guess guidance on whether or not Christina was going to be able to vote in lieu of Heather. I know that last month we had kind of discussed Teresa being able to vote for Rachel, and in discussing this with Scott, we decided to bring it up at the executive committee meeting to receive some, I guess, guidance, or to at least bring it to the attention. Oh, here comes Willow, of the executive committee, so we can make sure that we address that in the bylaws.
Well, Lisa used to attend and vote for me historically, and I had Teresa take her place. And when I can't make it, I ask her to attend to be able to cast a vote on my behalf.
Yeah. The way that we have it set up in the bylaws right now for the general meeting, that is totally acceptable. But for executive committee members during the executive meeting, we don't have anything that stipulates that the secondary voter can step in for the executive committee member. And so that's really what this discussion is about.
Okay.
So,
Do we want to make it an agency role? You're either coming into the executive committee as an agency person where your other person can do it, and then we have to, that's gotta be a change to the bylaws. Or you're still your own person and.
I think we don't do agencies just because the executive committee may change. We just have who's the alternate for the person who has been nominated onto the executive team.
Well, a lot of people don't have alternates. I don't. Yeah.
Well, if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. That way we can at least get someone else to vote so that.
So did it up? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so do we have, how's that identified?
We will work with the bylaws and people will be nominated as the, or voted in and approved as the alternate to the executive team member. That way, if the member is not there, the alternate will be given the chance to be able to vote and help us make quorum during those times.
Okay.
So we'll figure out.
It written, but we could do that at the next strategic planning.
Yeah, it's the general idea is to get the feedback from this group to take to that group.
I think we want to do everything we can to make quorum as easy as possible. And if we have alternates to the primary members, then I think that's helpful.
Do we want to make some kind of allowance for retired persons? Because they don't have, it's not the agency secondary person in that instance.
Well, yeah, we're not gonna do it by agency. We just talked about it. We just have to, the person would have to identify.
Think of any person as their secondary. Okay.
Because you're not on the executive team because of the agency you're a part of necessarily.
Right.
For board of supervisors, yes. If it's not specified, then I don't think we should do by agency.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
So
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
On the executive committee can have an alternate. If you're, because we are busy people in Lake County, and I get that. And if you're voted in as the executive committee member, you have the option to ask for an alternate, and everybody has to vote in the alternate. And that's just because people are busy. I mean, we get that in the small community, but I don't know how to word that. So
I think,
I'll have to
I
look
think
up some
we
words.
have a deeper in the weeds discussion at the strategic planning, and this group is looking for offering that opportunity for alternates. and let's just hammer that out and see what's possible.
And then we need to change the, you're have that mental health, you're having the, equity group. Yeah, it's changing and merging with the.
Lived experience.
Well, lived experience and behavioral health, or how are we, yeah.
It's not really behavioral health. I mean, you have someone from behavioral health attending,
Okay.
but it's not a behavioral health. It's just that equity work group for the COC.
Equity support. I like that. Equity support group. Okay.
Well, I didn't say that.
Okay. I just have to figure out some language for the, rep draft. Okay, thank you.
And we have supposed to have an equity working group underneath the strategic plan.
Yeah.
And recently we talked about, because there's some natural overlap with the lived experience group, because of advising the COC, the executive committee, would both have lived experience. And so it's, there is some natural overlap, and we're seeing, how much of that we want to kind of merge. And if we do that, then we'll have to have it spelled out in the bylaws.
I'm going to move us on. Strategic planning will take care of this, bring it back to us when they're ready. 4.3 MOU. So we did an MOU between Lake County Continuum of Care and Lake County Community Foundations. We did a post review of that MOU, and there are some amendments that are being proposed in our packet. Looking for any comments or questions. What it does is it just strengthens the idea that you will not go after grants that have not been approved by the Lake County Continuum of Care, so that we don't accidentally cross with what Lake County Behavioral Health already wants to access for grants, so that there's not this strangeness. We also want the Continuum of Care staff to continue to get the same grants they've always been getting, because that's how we afford to pay for Melissa and some of the other staff that gets a little bit of funding from the grants that we receive. And so there's just some strengthening of languages to make sure that it's separating the responsibilities and the scope of what we're asking in that relationship. I don't think there's anything much more to add, but again, it's in the packet. I will take any comment or any questions or anything from folks.
Well, I didn't know what LCCF stood for. I thought it was something through the county behavioral health thing. So I was reading that in a different scope. So now I got to go back and reread it. So
sorry.
I don't know all these acronyms all the time.
I don't understand why not.
I'm retired.
It's just HDIS, HUD, LSA.
LSA. Okay. But okay, I will, yeah. So do you just want for next month, or you're introducing it, so we want to vote on it or approve next month? Or?
I think we need to have a vote on it.
And I think we need to move forward.
Okay. I didn't see anything. I mean, I saw a couple of things I thought were kind of weird because I thought it was behind our administrative entity, but otherwise, yeah, I didn't see anything.
I mean, I don't have any problems with it. The way it reads, we added an indemnification. I don't know why we didn't have that in the first place.
I forgot that part. Yeah.
Conflict of interest. To me, what's being added is just protection of both parties to ensure that the way that we interact is going to ensure success and safety.
This is kind of.
And I apologize that I didn't recognize myself that it did not identify LCCF.
And the reason it came up is because LCCFF was in touch with behavioral health about funding for a project that they were looking at. And so our director, Elise, said, well, wait a minute, she recognized the different roles that are taking place there. And so she wanted to look at the MOU again to make sure it was rules were identified.
Looking for action, looking for moving this forward.
What stage are we at with this? I mean, is it like,
It's already, we already approved this previously.
okay,
And so this is an amendment or an update to it. Adding the identification clause and just tweaking the language a little bit to clarify things.
Then does that have to ultimately go back to the board too?
That's what I would assume.
The
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors for full approval, yes.
Well, at this point, I'd be ready to move to approve it here with those amendments.
I have a motion from Brad
a second.
and a second from Anna. All in favor?
We have Willow on the call now on Zoom.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do roll call. Sorry, Willow.
Who was the second?
The second was Anna.
Thank you. Okay. Supervisor Sabatier,
Aye.
Doreen Gilmore,
Aye.
Jane Murdoch,
Aye.
Shannon Kimball off,
Abstain.
Anna Santana,
Aye.
Brad Rasmussen,
Aye.
Willow Nunez.
Willow, you're on mute if you think you're voting.
Oh, sorry. Aye.
Rachel Parsons,
Aye.
motion passes.
All right, thank you. Can I ask a favor, Melissa? Just because there was an expression of confusion, can you make sure to resubmit this amendment as well as the original MOU so that folks can at least have that? And if there's any further questions, then let's make sure we bring this back rather than move it to the BOS. Again, I'm clear, I'm good in what I have in front of me, but just because there was an expression of confusion, let's make sure that we have the original MOU out there as well.
Out there, mean like when you submit it to the BOS?
No, submit it to this group so that the group doesn't just have an amendment, they have the original agreement.
Oh, in the future,
with
when
the-
you do something like this.
Like if we can send it out either today or tomorrow, whatever's possible. Today is 4:52, so I doubt that's gonna happen. But if we can send out the original MOU with the amendment so that folks have a little bit more clarity with what this is, that would be great. All right, that concludes our executive committee meeting and we are adjourned.
Not doing financial, just skipping.
Oh, let's do financial real fast.
I can do it quick.
Yes,
I just want to show off my spreadsheet. That's all I want.
he did add to the spreadsheet. We now go all the way back to 2018 instead of 2020.
Please. Okay, yeah, I have questions on the encampment resolution funding. We're supposed to be doing permanent housing with some money. Is that, so there's separate money for that and there's separate money for the bus? Is
Yes.
that how that works? Okay, so yeah, let's see how it looks up here.
Okay, just real quick. So I did update the spreadsheet. And as Bruno mentioned, I've added going back to, or I can go back to a heap. Back in
Wow.
2018. And, added the funding that was used in as well as catch, which we hadn't had before, and I forgot what else I had on it. Anything that we didn't have, I tried to add. You've been here long enough. Did I miss anything?
That's what I was just looking. I don't remember.
If we did, I don't have it. So
Well, the ESGs aren't there because we don't,
I didn't do ESG because the funding doesn't go through us.
yeah, it doesn't go through.
Yeah, but he even catched it though.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the two.
And then, we didn't have an earlier HUD grant on here either. And
That's when Dolores.
Oh,
and
what
then
about,
Dolores-
is Homestead on there?
no, but that didn't go through the COC either though. It went through,
At all?
no, it went through Department of Social Services.
Oh, okay.
You're staying quiet over there.
Yeah. I believe that's how I'm going blank. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was there at the time and it went through DSS.
Was it home key how we got Elijah House going?
No,
No, we got Hope Center going.
Hope Center was funded, yeah. That's where my brain was trying to go.
now that's Hope Center was actually, that's right. You
We got home key for Hope Center.
Sorry, right.
Yeah.
That was,
I just find something about that.
I was thinking the other one.
That's how that was that email.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Before my time, but I said.
Yeah, home key round 1.
That's right. That's right. Sorry.
What was the warming ceremony funding from?
Keep.
That was from Keep?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we self-funded for 5 years before that.
Yeah, it was, the one thing that was kind of disappointing to see, we didn't, we left some money on the table on that grant right there.
We're in charge.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of bad, but,
Goodbye,
you
Bruno.
know, we were new at the time. Anyway, so this with the spreadsheet, so I just added Governor's thing, you come down here, you can see we've gotten $11 million in grants,
Wow,
awards
That's pretty darn cool.
over the last
Very
almost 10 years, 8 years.
that's awesome.
So that's pretty good.
Not just homelessness, local economy too.
Yeah, right. And then, so what I'm doing, you can look down here, I'm making a separate spreadsheet for each grant. They'll have all the accounted spending that will feed into this page. You look confused, Anna, can I help you?
No, I mean, this is pretty amazing. Doreen and I, and Julie, I think we were talking about when we first started with the continuum of care 100 years ago, when it was those Rios and stuff like that, and where.
That's Rios. I gotta remember that. I can never remember the original.
Dos Rios.
Dos Rios.
Yeah, that's Rios.
And where we would come together and, yeah, we could do this and do this, and then we'd go away and then we'd come back. Yeah, we could do this, and then we'd go away and then we'd come back, and this is,
How
Wow,
are we
Scott.
gonna pay, how are we gonna?
and you're
pay
doing this for
each
yourself,
of
not through Chat GPT?
Um,
You're pretty amazing, Scott.
ChatGPT is way more intelligent than I am.
Oh,
I'm doing it the old fashioned way.
it has more hallucinations.
That's true.
Are all the HHAP rounds up there?
Yes,
Okay.
except for, the ones we haven't received yet, which is 6. 6 has not been,
We have received 5, but we haven't received 6. Were we okay yet? Did we submit that?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that last
okay.
June or something like that. But, they take their own sweet time in awarding it.
Okay.
HHP 7.
And
by the
Linda, help
way,
us that? How's our funding for that grant writer position?
We're
holding up?
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
we're re-upping her for another year.
And will they work with the LCCF too, if they find funding?
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
is that how that's supposed to work?
Right, so the big thing about what we're kind of, hoping that they will be able to do
Mm-hmm.
is apply for a home key grant, speaking of home key. And with that, we can, finally do those tiny homes that we
Yep.
all wish we can do.
There's a couple other sources too. There's like a grant for HCD that's for mobile homes, but CDSS said you can use it for tiny homes too. I sent it to Susan. There's some other things.
Oh, great, okay, yeah. I'm so.
You're saying Lake County Community Foundation is gonna go for home key? Is that what you just said?
Yes, that's what they're gonna be doing.
Just for anyone that does not know, I'm on the board of Lake County Community Foundation.
I kind of figured it out when you.
When I'm staying, you're like,
No, as soon as you're saying something, she didn't, she must be on the board.
I didn't know that, but that's good.
And my funding and other programs I can probably throw towards tiny homes more than the parking lot thing. My funding is like 1 year at a time. It's not constant though. So I have to see what the state does. Like for.
We're meeting regularly with LFRs, what is it?
Lake Family Resource Center?
No,
Lake County Community
NCO?
Foundation?
Like,
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
alphabet soup.
Invite me to any tiny homes planning. I might have some money for you.
okay,
Let's do it together.
well, you know, I will do that next time, whenever that next meeting is. I'll look on the.
Or know of some grants. I'm recruiting a grant analyst too right now. Sorry, time to conserve energy. And once I get them, they can maybe help a little more too.
Anyway, so I just want to show that spreadsheet. You know, ideally what I want to be able to have is that on our website. You can see it.
That's great.
Well, hopefully we'll get to that point. Our current software for the website doesn't have that. See, Melissa found that we could find somebody who does, but it's be another kind of charge.
Can you send it to all of us?
Yeah.
Because I want to open up the red boxes and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
I gotta figure out I gotta figure out what we need to spend money on.
We'll do that. By the way, I was going to mention HHAP 7 is being approved by the state. So that's a good thing too.
Yes. I'm surprised the state's gonna do that.
Okay, that's all I got. So we at the top of the hour, so I don't have anything else. Anyone else?
Oh, are we officially adjourning?
We're officially adjourned.
For house direction?
I gotta get to that,
Congressman thing.
homecoming volleyball game.
Oh, okay. Awesome, special meeting.
Anybody leaving here driving the direction of courthouse that way?
I am.
Do you have an empty seat in your car?
I do. It has dog hair in it, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I was gonna walk, but I have a meeting at 5:30, so now I'm thinking hitching a ride is a better idea.
You don't mind dog hair. Come along.
Okay.
I'll lock up.
Thanks, Anna.
I go on the height.
Okay.